I was so proud to be a part of that. It was a connection I had with my dad, and nothing made me prouder just because of that, you know, third generation in there.
And when you see it and you hear that you win awards for quality and stuff, you take a lot of pride. You look and you go, you know, I had a share in building that vehicle.
I was a steelworker for 10 years, and I made fun of my family members about how hard it must be on the line. You know, you're putting in bolts, and then I did the job. You know, your hands swell up, your elbows swell up, your shoulders swell up, and you have all of these things from repetitive motion. It's a heck of a lot tougher job than what is portrayed.
In Oshawa, everybody has a neighbor, a friend, a family member that works for General Motors or one of their suppliers or knows us. The history has always been, it's a General Motors town.
I had just put my tree up. It was a Sunday afternoon, and CB24 was on.
We begin with breaking news from Durham region. Sources tell CTV News that General Motors is going to close its Oshawa operations.
I thought, no, that I must have read that wrong, or, you know, so didn't think anything of it, and carry on, and doing my tree. And then my phone goes off. And I'll never forget it. My friend Shannon said, Jen, be honest with me, are you freaking out right now? And I said, yes, it's hard to breathe.
Well, initially, we found out. I was at home watching TV, came across CP24. Stunned would be the perfect word.
I took the next 2 days off work because I didn't know what to do. It was rough. When I first seen that, I went, wow, how can you do that when we're building the best product in the world? And just up and close, and who cares?
The official announcement from GM is expected in the morning.
GM can wake up and say, okay, we're done. We build the best cars, then they just say, thanks for coming out. That's it, it's over.
They are not closing our damn plant without one hell of a fight. The announcement that GM just made has betrayed our members, betrayed the community, and frankly, they've created war. And we will do whatever we can to get GM to reverse their decision. But we will make sure that we put together the most aggressive campaign General Motors has ever seen in their life. And if they're gonna try to harm our nation, well, then we're gonna harm their company. Well, this is gonna be an international story today. That's good. It's good that GM, frankly, is gonna get slapped internationally because they deserve this. Well. All right, my friend.
Oh, good.
Good.
We're doing a play about a community in crisis because their industry is closing down, and set in the 80s, and actually my hometown. We invited Jerry to the play the other night, and he saw it, and he recognized the situation. So we wanted to come and really just offer, you know, a gesture of solidarity. I think corporations need to be loyal to the communities that support them, because the community supports them. It's a two-way street, and I think corporations have to be more responsible.
Sisters and brothers, stand!
Oh, can't you see? You belong to me. How my poor heart aches with every step you take, every move you make, every vow you break, every smile you fake, every claim you stake. I'll be watching you.
GM continues to expand in Mexico, leaving workers out in the cold. A move that's as un-Canadian as the vehicles they now want to sell us. What makes us Canadian?
So it's a Super Bowl commercial General Motors didn't want you to see. But this ad, paid for by Canada's largest labor union, did run last night, despite a cease and desist letter from the auto giant.
GM, you may have forgotten our generosity, but we'll never forget your greed. If you want to sell here, build here.
So today, we are announcing that we will be launching a major campaign urging Canadians and American consumers not to buy GM vehicles that are shipped from Mexico. So the bottom line is we need a press conference. We need Travis Hester and myself and us sitting behind a desk with cameras saying, here's the deal.
But we won't have a deal by Tuesday. We're not gonna have it. We got 3 days left this week.
Look, the more time we give them, the longer this thing is gonna drag out. If we say to them that it's the 30th, then we're gonna have the same conversation on the 29th. GM is happy because we've suspended or put on pause our campaign to get their attention. So everything's quiet, so they're pleased. Well, we're not quiet because people are saying, what the hell is taking so long? So where are we? We're getting close, I would suspect, to having a press conference with General Motors.
As previously announced, the Oshawa site will end vehicle production in December of 2019. However, I'm announcing today that GM will make new investments in excess of $170 million that will transition operations at the plant from a vehicle assembly operation to one focused on stamping for GM and other auto industry customers. This new business will retain 300 Oshawa jobs.
We both understand the importance of maintaining the footprint in Oshawa. So the fact that we're going to maintain the integrity of manufacturing for the long term is critically important. Do I believe this is perfect? The answer is no. But what I do know is that to play your cards you're dealt and you make the best out of a bad situation.
You got 300 jobs, 300 jobs. I have never been this angry in all my life. We've only been here for 3 years. The housing market just exploded. And so the little place that we were renting, you might want to pay $180,000 for it, and it went for $4 million. So we're moving. And, you know, my lady that I'm with, she's gone to live with her daughter. I'm gonna have another arrangement, right? So, you know what sucks?
We fall under federal regulations, so we're only allowed 2 days severance for each year of service, which is peanuts for all the time you've been there. After the 9 years, I'd get 18 days pay, so by the time you tax that, I'd probably come out with 2 weeks pay, which would be roughly $1,200 with no pension. I mean, this is 7 months later after the announcement, and I still have days that you get up, you sit home, and you tear up.
I hope that Oshawa does really well. But if you look at the towns that GM has closed plants in, that's never happened. When they close a plant in a town, what happens to the town? People move away, you know, stores close up. I don't know how that's going to be different for Oshawa.
We've got about 2,500 in General Motors. We've got another couple thousand in the supply base. You have companies like Lear Seating, for example, that are huge corporations, that have the financial whereabouts that we can bargain very good agreements with. But then you have some of the smaller players, your Robinson Solutions, where our members, do cleaning, where our members do some basic maintenance. It's a real hodgepodge, so it becomes very difficult to negotiate respectful packages from corporations that, frankly, aren't the size of a General Motors, aren't as profitable as a General Motors, whose margins are fairly small.
If I was on day shift, I would be up at 3:30 in the morning, get dressed, out the door at 4:30, be at work at 5:30, an hour early, every day. You go in the plant because why? I want to be there. Like, I actually got a job that I really thoroughly enjoyed, that I would have worked right until the day that my last breath. And I used to be proud if I see the lot outside the plant in Oshawa, all of a sudden be full of pickup trucks, you look and you go, you know what? I had a chance to help build them.
The day they announced the closure was the day we should have left. And none of us come back until everything's finished instead of this shit show that
we talked about that, right? People are scared. People aren't getting along. I know for a fact there was almost a couple fist fights in Lear. Like, it's out of hand. It's like I always said, as the pond gets smaller, the animals start looking at each other a little different, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's been nasty.
Most people are just putting up the white flag and moving on.
You won't see the young right now, and it's nothing against them, but we've gone through plant closures before. We've gone through battles in the last 30 years of work or whatever the case. Back in the old days, when it was the CAW, it was Canadian Auto Workers, if something happened inside that plant that was wrong, the whole plant sat down, shut down. 15 minutes later, that problem was straightened out.
Yeah.
Or that was it. Now it's just nobody, I'm scared for my job.
Well, I lost 2 weeks holidays, benefits, and everything when times were tough to stay in business along with everybody else, and in the end, they pulled the plug anyway. That's just fucking ignorant.
There was a lot.
That is just ignorant. We all wanted to walk out together, absolutely. And we thought that would be the greatest thing, and it would have been. Would it have forced their hand? Would it have got more? We'll never know.
The fallout is just not affecting the four walls of General Motors. This thing is like an octopus. It has tentacles that go all over the place, whether it's into an IPS plant, a service provider, whether or not you're trucking or warehousing parts.
We're working like crazy with no deadline, no communications, no guarantees. And I think it's just, everybody's just frustrated.
Overall, we're looking at a very dismal situation for our members because there is no safety net for them. Nobody planned for this. Nobody knew it was coming. And GM, by taking this action, has done it to all of us, all our members.
Those employers are obligated to help our members. They're all crying poor. Some of them are saying they can't even meet the ESA. And our members are getting pretty frustrated. I hear it every day. I personally do not think we should be giving them a choice. We should be giving them dates and saying, we're meeting on this date at this time. Right. And you're gonna give us an answer one way or the other.
They're gonna drag their feet and they're gonna slow play us if we don't try to determine some type of deadline.
Why? Why would the company do the right thing? What company have we ever sat with that's ever done the right thing? They don't care about the workers at the end of the day. They care about the profits. So what bargaining strength do we have to hold a gun to their heads?
It's great to talk. But my goodness, we have numbers. Why aren't we using them? We should be out. We should be out now. We've had opportunity. And now that it's just the suppliers left, where do we come to roost?
Morning, everyone. Morning.
Morning. Well, what time should we cross the border? It's probably either 9:15. All right, who's driving?
Colin.
Okay, so how do you want to approach this thing? Here's what I think. Appealing to Lear's sense of conscience will get us nowhere, so we'll rule that out right off the bat. If we were to shut down Oshawa, GM probably wouldn't care. Because everything's coming to an end anyway. The only power is GM not wanting any negative publicity. That's the only power, is GM saying to Lear, we don't need any crap. But ultimately, we can't just do nothing. So the bottom line is we have to fight. We gotta shut them down. Lear's got lots of money.
They don't want to give it away though.
Yeah, that's the problem. They never do, that's the problem. It's all money. It's all money.
So Lear's printing money. The last CEO, I think he made like $32 million in a year. I don't have a lot of sympathy for them that say they can't afford it, it's too much money. We got 178 people that need a pension, and these pricks are taking $30 million a year for themselves. You got the needy and the greedy.
Hi there, I'm Shane. We are here for a meeting with Frank Orsini at 10:30, and we were to arrive and ask for Sue Jakubik.
All right, let's get it done. The meeting went better than I thought, to be honest with you. I don't know what you guys read it, but I thought it was
a good meeting.
Lear's the tough one. We get them done, we're good. All right, let's get the hell out of here. Round two.
Okay. All right. Okay, bye.
And as long as they're maintaining their position, minimum employment standards, that ain't gonna fly. So we need to talk to them about how we get their attention. I can't believe a couple who got members that have been there for 35, 40 years, and they're telling them they're gonna give them 26 weeks. 1 week times, years of service, capped at 26 weeks, 26 weeks pay after 35 years, fuck them. I think we need to slow things down. The only way they're gonna move is if GM tells them to move, and GM's gonna have to be a part of the solution. They created this disaster in the first place, so the best thing to do is get their attention. Plug up the lines. So guys are gonna take a little while getting the cars off the line. I think we need to slow it down, and that'll create a bottleneck, and the phone lines will start burning up, all right?
Yep.
Just get their attention.
Okay.
Let's do it. All right. The suppliers that we can come to an agreement with, we've got an agreement with them. But those that are playing hardball or trying to squeeze us or being as foolish as they just were, can you imagine? People worked for them for 35, 40 years, gonna give them 26 weeks pay over my dead body. They won't even give them a 3-month extension on their benefits. They won't even throw any money into a labor adjustment fund where we can help people with retraining, and they're saying that all they're gonna do is 26 weeks pay? Not a chance. There's no way of spinning this thing that, yes, we did the best we could under a lousy situation, but it doesn't do anything for our members in the supply base that got absolutely hammered. It's a bag of crap.
I've never wanted to be so wrong. I want to be wrong. I'm 55 years old. I haven't seen it all, but I've seen a good amount of things in my life. I have zero confidence in Jerry Diaz.
So my name is Shane Ward, and I'm assistant to Unifor National President Jerry Dias.
What I want to know is I want to know where Jerry is. Jerry hasn't set foot in Oshawa since he made that deal with GM. And to me, it's a slap in the face to everyone that's in these IPS parts flex plans.
Jerry is out of the country today. He's returning back tomorrow. All of this came as a result of General Motors made a decision to end vehicle operations in Oshawa, and this was the fallout from that.
Why are we waiting so long? That's all. November 26th, we all knew about this. We're 8 months into this fucking shit, and nothing's been done.
So, as Mr. Diaz's right-hand man, I want to know from you, since he can't be here today, which is disgusting, but he owes us an explanation. We all pay attention, even in General Motors. They got taken care of. When are we going to be taken care of?
We're trying to get these agreements in place with these employers. Yes, we're having a difficult time. No, it doesn't mean we're stopping. We're starting to make some progress, and we're going to continue to push.
I have a lot of pissed off people. We have a chair that's not telling us shit. And we have nothing going on. Sitting cheap for 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 fucking years. And they haven't done nothing for nobody, and they're not going to do it now either. So here is what I say. Let's walk. and evict every single person here.
For me, it's important that we have this dialogue with our members, and we hear it. At least we're having the discussions today and hearing from some of our frustrated members. But I do want to thank you guys. It is appreciated, and we did need to hear from our members. Thank you.
Look, I think the frustrating part was that, for them anyway, was we already had a deadline. And that was the subject of a lot of the discussion in both meetings, is we set this July 24th deadline to try to have agreements in place. For the most part, they're not in place. First thing Monday morning, we are getting back either by telephone or by email or in person if possible, and we got to get back with these employers and let them know as well what the mood is here.
Hello, John.
Hey, long time no see. People are really seeing the reality around them, right? And people are concerned. The uncertainty, future. People are starting to look for jobs wherever they can get jobs. On a regular day, I get about 25, 30 phone calls that are left on this machine here or on my own cell. In the last month, I would say that's doubled.
In Oshawa, we have a ton of retirees.
People are antsy. They just want to know what's their next step, what's their future hold.
They're mostly worried about their mortgages. Sometimes marriages get dissolved.
Yeah.
I know some of our members are having concerns about finances, how are they going to continue? And I know we have had a few members take their own lives, which is scary. I mean, for the most part, the plant has not even closed yet. It's going to be approximately 15,000 people that are impacted by this. So, you know, the 2,500 are just within General Motors unit. When we look at our supplier units, we have approximately 2,000 of those. And then the trickle effect, plus the non-union shops that we do not represent, the list goes on and on.
Things have a domino effect. You know, there's a few folks that have been loyal to me for 30 years. And, you know, where does it stop?
Right.
People aren't dining out. There's less tip, less income, less cook hours,
People
less of
don't have the
everything.
money to go out, right?
Yeah.
That makes it very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what replaces those jobs, and I really do not see it getting better for a long time. When I look at some of the other cities like Flint, Michigan, that went through similar, and I look at where they are now, I mean, hopefully we're not as bad as that, but it's scary.
My great-grandfather, both of my grandfathers, my grandmother and my mother also worked at General Motors. Now I am there.
We are here to talk whether battery electric vehicle production is possible in Oshawa. Is government investment and public ownership possible in Oshawa? Is maintaining the productive capacity of the Oshawa Assembly Plant possible? And is building a new way of thinking that prioritizes the environment, the community, and citizens of our country over corporate greed possible? The answer to all of these questions is yes. We need to address the climate crisis. We need good jobs to fight inequality and precarity. We have a plant, a skilled workforce, and a big idea. All we need is the political will and to not be afraid to think big. Thank you.
The project is anchored in government procurement, and that it would start with that, and that in further future years it would have to widen to include I think that we're being heard. That's what we're running into right now, is that there's an awful lot of work to try to get people to think outside the box and think about a different way of doing things. Honestly, the pushback that I'm getting from some of the employees in the plant, because they just can't even imagine what it is that we're talking about. They can't imagine something outside of GM, and it's so frustrating, but...
But baby steps. For 100 years, we've made cars, right? But we'll get there.
There's a lot of academics and textbook socialists out there that have all these great ideas. And they've been talking about these fantastic ideas for generations. Hasn't really come to fruition. I can bring together as many workers as I can. And we're not going to pull together $1 billion to start an assembly plant. I mean, it sounds great in theory, but the practical reality of it is, like, give me a break.
I'm sure there's several of us that are like me, where you just get this over with. And you just want it to end, to move on, try to figure out what you're going to do. Take a minute to breathe and look around. What's gonna happen next? No idea, no plan. There's no plan. I mean, 55 years old. Don't think I have Walmart greeter in me, so we'll see what happens. I mean, gotta hope, you know, there's an opportunity somewhere. Oh my goodness. Great, a whiskey slushy. This is gonna take some getting used to.
The environmental movement and the labor movement must come together and demand with a united voice a workers' Green New Deal that fights the climate crisis and fights for workers and communities. The environmental movement and the labor movement must demand this transformation include just transitions for communities and workers. And what is a just transition? A just transition means environmental justice. It means social justice and economic justice. It means leaving no community or worker behind while creating a sustainable future. And Green Jobs Oshawa proposes a concrete example of something that could be done if there was a political will. Make use of the Oshawa facility, electrify government fleet vehicles, and provide thousands of jobs for workers in the community. Anytime people come together to fight back, I find it inspirational and it gives me hope. Canadians are not used to fighting back. They're used to going along with what the government tells them and being pretty complacent. But it's time that we start pushing back and start fighting back because I'd say the stewardship hasn't been what we need it to be. Whether the people at Local 222 are on board right now or not, this is a conversation that is going to get bigger and we need to be having, and I think it's just a matter of time that they will be on board because we need to build a future and this is one way of doing it.
Well, it would have been great if, you know, if the federal government would have decided they wanted to get into the auto industry. You know, once again, philosophically, it's fantastic. Do I think it's frankly a reality? No.
Nice to see you.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas. Does Grandpa want a duck?
My daughter, she's 17, so she's at a critical age. Stress can ruin her, and I don't want that to happen. Is she happy? Does she know I'm stressed?
Oh, we need this. Deal?
$20. It's a bargain. She's talking about going away to school. I know I have some money put aside for her education. I just know too that when I started putting money away, that was a long time ago and the prices have went up.
This is Algonquin's advertising program.
Where's Algonquin?
Ottawa. Here's the course outline.
So that's like 4 hours from here?
Yeah. That's just for the program. And then this is all the additional stuff that you would pay for. And then that's your total for the 1 semester.
I'm gonna have to get more information on how much things are, like when they need money.
Yeah,
right?
you can do...
you probably have to, like, for sign up, they probably want money. And because those numbers look scary. Is that money I put aside even gonna put a dent in that tuition? I don't know. What if she thinks I'm stressed about money and she decides she doesn't want to go? I don't know how I'm gonna do it. Is it gonna be a loan? How am I gonna make those payments when I still have my own bills at a lesser wage?
Back in the day, you'd have to wait in this parking lot probably half an hour to get out the lot, and then traffic, same thing, going down the streets, right? So as you can see, they're just trickling out now.
Just like a chain link around here, everybody's connected. So, you know, it's going to affect a lot of people, and it's sad to see everything just shut down.
We actually had members crying on the line because, you know, it's like one of those things you hear it's going to happen, but it doesn't really hit home till you see it actually happen, right? So.
There's so much tension at work right now, and you just kind of drive in and hope today's gonna be a good day. Today's gonna be a good day. Everyone is stressed for one reason or another. I'm so worried about everybody. When I'm at work, I can see them, and I know that Bob's fine, and, you know, and I know Joe's good, but I worry about when I don't see those people, what's gonna happen to them. And I know that's not my job to worry about them, but that's how I've always been. So I just try to be that kind of therapist figure to them, because you don't know what kind of support they're getting at home, or are people adding to their stress at home, or are they trying to cheer them up too?
There you go.
What are the neighbors saying about General Motors?
Well, most of the time what you're hearing is that people are trying to find work. They're ending up at minimum wage plants after working for close to $30 an hour, going down to $14 an hour. They're trying to see if they can have 2 jobs just to keep the rent going.
Yeah, no, it's a mess.
So that's the problem we got, you know?
Well, right now Juliette's really stressed. You can see the anxiety mounting as she comes to the end.
So
really.
she's working today till what, 2:30?
Yeah. She worked yesterday too, so this is probably the end of all that overtime, but she's taking advantage of it, right? So,
yeah.
And right now she's doing a second job, $14 an hour, retail, just so she has something when it ends. You know, for a young person to be just sitting at home.
What are people in the plant saying?
Yeah.
People are nervous, I take it?
Oh, people are beyond nervous. Like, there's people in there that are like younger than me that have just had kids last year, and they're worried of what's gonna be done with their kids. There's another family that has a handicapped son. They rely on the benefits there.
Dad was the president of his local union, and I'll never forget when I was a kid. I'd have been about 14 years old. They had the 7-8 month strike at the Havilland Aircraft, and he was president of local union. And it's funny because my job during the debates at the kitchen table was I would make the bacon and tomato sandwiches for the bargaining committee.
I'm proud of him. I couldn't dream that he would have been what he is today, but he came from a union house. I was always a union guy. When he was growing up, he used to march on the Labor Day parade with me.
How's today? How are people in the plant?
You can tell everyone's pretty stressed out.
So what are you gonna do?
Either go back to school in September, try to look in the trades, or if I get a full-time job that pays me well, like how GM did, then I'll take that. It's stressful just thinking about how am I gonna pay my bills, how am I gonna live, and it's more I cannot think of a future for myself.
I didn't make the decision. GM made the decision, and we fought. And we fought and we fought to get them to change their mind. And, you know, obviously we're maintaining that the plant's not closing. So there's still going to be a footprint. But do I feel good about it? No. Do I feel I let people down? Absolutely, because I did.
You shouldn't feel that way anyway.
Yeah, but I do. The bottom line is I do. People were expecting something better. My own niece and nephew, for crying out loud. We have.
I mean, I can see if you went and hide when it happens, but you didn't. So, you know, you shouldn't have any guilt at all.
I've been busy applying for jobs while I'm still working, just to see what's out there and get experience with interviews. And I got a call and I got a job offer to start at Bombardier. And I'm just looking through the contract and it's time. I can sign it, I can accept it and move on from GM and not worry. I'm sad to leave. I don't hate the place. I love going into work. I'm proud to go into work. I love that I work at GM until December 19th. I wouldn't come back. Yeah, I would love for them to ask me to come back. That would feel really good, but I would never come back because that trust is broken and I would never take back somebody in any relationship, personal or professional. I wouldn't do it.
I think there is a lot of support amongst workers for it. This isn't just about GM auto workers. This is a community issue, and that includes the supplier plants and the families and the community members who are going to be impacted by 5,000 lost jobs in this community. And I think that gives us a very strong base of support.
The system has failed people. People are angry. They're frustrated. So there's no question about the potentials. What's lacking is our ability to turn that potential into a commitment to do things.
Without the support of Jerry Diaz, it's going to be difficult to get the support of the Liberal government federally. So I think we do need to discuss strategy around that and figure out what are we going to do about that.
If the union is saying, we don't think it's worth making this fight, that really affects workers. And even if the union was on side, we probably still couldn't have just changed the politics. And maybe this isn't the day to say to workers, they're wrapped up in what's happening to them. You have to think about transforming your union. We have to think about transforming politics.
We want to figure out how we want to handle
December
19th. We think you should be writing one of your blogs, and we think we should at least have a spokesperson available.
I'm going to be there on the 19th. I mean, the 19th is Armageddon for us, and the 19th is everything we fought to avoid. So we are going to be very aggressive towards General Motors because of the straight betrayal of the community. And they're not going to get away from the fact that they closed our damn plant when they signed an agreement that said they weren't. So we have a credibility problem ourselves with our own members that are saying, listen, don't tell me that you just bargained some wonderful product when the reality is they never delivered.
Do you know what I think
that's
about
good.
that makes GM the biggest prick in the world? Just think of the time of the year that they execute these types of mass job eliminations. 4,000. And think about the day that the last truck rolls off the line. What?
It's shameful.
6 days before Christmas?
General Motors has always been greedy. We didn't get the health and safety rules or anything like that because we sat at a table and said, geez, please, would you mind giving us this? No, we had to fight for everything that we got. What's a surprise is the way we were treated by our union. I'm a unionist through and through, but there was a hell of a lot more that they could have done for us.
As I thank all of you for the incredible work you do each and every day, things aren't going to change. We're going to be more aggressive. We're going to be more abrasive. And we will continue to do whatever it takes to maintain the respect of our members.
Thank you for your support during our campaign. It's been an incredible campaign, but it is tough. For me, it's tough for our members, and we're going through a difficult time. I'm proud of our union, but again, it's not a good story. And lastly, I want to thank our membership for the support I've received. I've been elected for 27 years. And if it wasn't for the membership that I have, I wouldn't be here today. So again, thank you, everybody.
Waking up this morning and realizing that it might be the last day that we're producing vehicles in this plant, that was the worst part. And then trying to get ready to come to work and pretend that everything is normal. And then seeing everybody else at work doing the exact same thing. I felt like I couldn't breathe throughout the day. I thought maybe I was gonna cry. And then people are telling jokes and doing things to make other people happy. Fellow dressed up like the Grinch, and people brought out cupcakes and chocolates, and the workers in there are like a family, and they really come together to support each other. So it made it bearable, and it made it great, even though it's a horrible time. I am very angry. Oh, security's coming again. I gotta go.
Okay.
Sorry.
What are you doing here? You have to have permission to film on General Motors property. You don't have any permission.
This is a parking lot.
This is General Motors property. This is private property.
Sorry about the factory. I'm sure it affects you too.
Oh, absolutely, it
Not
affects
a fun
everybody.
day,
Yeah. I mean, I don't like to be out here giving you guys hassles, you know, like, but I mean, it is what it is. I've been here 26 years.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Are you okay after the factory closes?
Well, nobody's okay.
Yeah.
Because they don't know what their business model is going to be after the factory closes, so.
General Motors got a $10.8 billion bailout, and they left the community with a lump of coal.
We are here because today General Motors is assembling their last vehicle in Oshawa after vehicles have been produced in this community for 111 years. They are leaving despite Canadians giving them $11 billion. They demanded concessions from workers and from retirees, which they got, and they're still leaving. We are here today from Green Jobs Oshawa to say that we need our governments to act to keep jobs in this community, to assemble electric vehicles in this plant that GM is walking away from.
years and years of friendship, working together, and may we all prosper after this is gone.
What I'm gonna miss the most is the people, right? You make good friends. We grew up together. You're gonna miss the people because no matter what happens, you're not gonna hold that crowd of people that you had lunch with because people are gonna scatter right now. People are gonna look for jobs in North Bay or out west or down east.
In the end, Doug, they became your family more than your family did, right?
Spent more time with them, that's for sure.
Right? That was hard when that last frame went on the line.
You know what? I was a little choked up this morning. I'm just angry. This is a shame. It's a goddamn shame. There isn't words that are enough. There's nothing that's enough.
It's an emotional day. You're gonna not see some of your friends ever again, and you're not gonna have a paycheck coming in every Thursday. Whether you're at the top of the pile or the bottom, as of next week, there's nothing. There's nothing. You may have some severance to live on. You're out looking for a job. It's devastating. It's devastating, and it's a bad day, people. It's a bad day.
I'm so glad to be done.
I bet you are.
It was a really stressful day. That was really stressful.
I'd rather be part of something trying to add jobs right now than saying them up.
When I said I couldn't make it to the Green Jobs event, they said, well, where would you rather be? In the plant or right there? I said, I'd rather be out there fighting for jobs instead of watching our jobs roll off the line.
Right, absolutely.
That's
I
exactly.
wish them all the best, and I really care about each and every one of them. I really do. I really do. Even you don't get along with everybody, even the people I didn't get along with, I wish them all the best. And I'm sure they feel the same.
The last day was finally here. We've all been waiting and dreading it at the same time. A lot of hugs, a lot of best wishes, and what's your next step? A few tears. Everyone's just can't get enough of each other right now, knowing that when they walk out, that might be the last time they see them. I think what GM did, I don't think the workers that were affected will ever forgive them for that. I think when somebody mentions GM, we're always going to have that pit in our stomach, that anger. I don't think that grudge will ever go away. I don't want to move on. I'm proud of myself for moving on, but I'm mad at GM for making me move on. I wanted to put in my 30 years. I was more than halfway there. I thought I had it made. Everything was good. I loved my job. I loved going to work. I missed it when I wasn't at work. And then all of a sudden they're like, okay, now you need to figure out what you're gonna do. And we're washing our hands of this, so away you go. And I just feel so betrayed.
I've had days where I've sat here and not be able to go out that door just for falling apart. And not for the fact that I know I can't do it anymore, because I know I can. It's just, I've done it for like 25 years, and now all of a sudden you sit here and go, wow. I don't even know. If you want to make a joke of it, it's kind of like I'm checking out semi-retirement. I don't like this. Whether I had the money or not, there's just nothing to do. I need something to do.
The point is very simple to me, and that is that our community and our kids and ourselves, that we all deserve better than what we've been getting. And it is a matter of fighting and pushing back. This is a critically important conversation that we need to be having. And if it isn't successful here and now, that it will be successful in the near future somewhere else.
Bargaining next year in September 2020 is going to be very interesting, because there's no worse feeling than the feeling of betrayal. There's no worse feeling than when you were lied to. And they lied to us and they betrayed us. And I've got a long memory. So does this community of Oshawa. We're not going to forget.
Bronte, is your station stop? Bronte.